record and roll. Do you hear me? I have recorded. This is video number 4 that I've recorded this week. 3 in one day. This is number 3 for today. This is about to be my last video for today, I think, because I do need to record like 2 or 3 more videos. But I think y'all tired of seeing this look. The only reason I need to record 2 or 3 more videos is because on Saturdays, I'll be going to show my little boo thing, and I'm gonna be recording at his house, and I work until 6. By the time I get off, I'll be packing my spend the night bag and be out. So maybe I'll record again tomorrow. But anyway, welcome back to Sweets Life. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? I will say I have gotten so much more comfortable being in front of a camera as of lately. Because if y'all go back and look at my first video, I was like so robotic, like, ugh. But now I'm comfortable. I'm good. I'm straight. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Okay, so this is another story time. Another story time. This is for... we're going to call him... what am I going to call him? We're going to call him Cat. Like a cat, because his name is like a cat. Yeah. Okay. So I met Cat when I first moved to my first apartment at the wonderful age of 22. I think I was 22. And Cat lived, well, it wasn't around the corner, but he was close by. Okay, disclaimer. I was 22, he was 19. Like, fresh out of high school. That should have been flag number 1, which it was flag number 1. Look at this eye again, y'all. Look at it. If you watched my last video, you know I've been going through it with this eye. I don't know why I get on camera and she wants to act up. Y'all know how I feel about this side anyway. Like, y'all see this eyebrow? How good it look? But I met him on POF. Okay, another disclaimer. A lot of my relationships, I met people online, okay? Most of my relationships, except for one of these story times, I met online. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. And he hit me up, and I was like, oh, he alright looking, like, he was dark skinned, and at that point in time, which is so crazy, because at that point in time, even with my first love, if you watch my previous story time, I was into light-skinned men. Like, I wanted men that was light, bright, dang near white type thing. You know what I'm saying? And he was dark-skinned. My first love was dark-skinned. The next boy after him was dark-skinned. The next boy after him was dark-skinned. The next boy after him was dark-skinned. And then the last 2 that I will be telling story times on are like my skin complexion. My current is like my skin complexion, or just a tad bit darker. But, yeah, I can't explain that. But, he had hit me up and he was like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, hey, how you doing? I'm good, thanks for asking. He was like, I'm good, da da da. He was like, you're real cute. And I was like, oh, thanks, appreciate it. Like, I was like, how old are you? He was like 19. I was like, oh, you's a baby. Can y'all get an ice cream truck? I was like, oh, you're a baby. I can't do a baby. No. And he was like, come on, I just want to see you. Let me come see you. Like, he used to hit me up for like 3 weeks straight. No lie. And he can tell you differently if he wants to. But 3 weeks straight, he hit me up every day begging to come see me. Like, I will walk to your house. I will walk. Mind you, the walk was probably like a good, I'd say like a good 15, 20 minutes. And this is in winter, because I moved to my first apartment in like December. So this had to be in like March. Yeah, it was like March. So it was still cold, but not too cold. But he was like, I'll walk to your house. I'll come and see you. And I'm like, no, you don't need to. It's okay. I'm cool. I don't really want to see you. I just got off work. I'm tired. Whatever. So one day he was like, look, I just got a car. Can I please come and see you? If you don't like me, I'll leave you alone. And I'm like, oh, okay. See, this is my problem. If you watch my last story time, I got too big of a heart and I need to stop that. Because every time having a big heart has got me to all of these situations. All of these situations. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Yeah, you can come over. He was like, okay, cool, I'll be there in a minute. He was like, where do I park at? So I don't drive. But I had a parking blah, blah, blah. I had a parking spot. So I told him to park into my parking spot or whatever. And so he did. My sock is bothering me, y'all. I don't know what's going on with it. Okay, there you go. No. I might change these socks. Okay. And I told him to put my little apartment number in so he could get access um to my apartment complex. And he like, okay, cool, bet. And so I'm like, ugh. So he comes over, we talking. He kisses me. And he makes it to my neck. And anyone who knows me knows when you get to my neck, that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. And for like a week straight, he stayed in my apartment. Every day. Like, he would leave when I would go to work, but he would be right back when I got home. So we kind of fell into a relationship. Now, mind you, disclaimer, and I need to insert this into my other video too. He's a Taurus. His birthday is May 5th. I'm a Taurus. My birthday is May 15th. What? My first love, he's a Taurus. His birthday is April 23rd or 24th. I don't remember that too much more. The only reason I remember his is because my older goddaughter, the same birthday. And he got the same birthday as Chris Brown. I never forget that. May 5th. Never forget that. Once again, I'm a Taurus. Don't you think I should have seen the signs? But I didn't. I was stigmatized. I can admit it. So then, like 2 weeks go by, everything's good, nothing really. Like I said, we spent a lot of time together. It's not like April. And his so-called best friend, a female, came up here from Norfolk. And so I'm like, oh, I want to meet her. And he like, yeah, I don't know, she got her daughter and, but she's staying in my mama's house, especially since I don't really be there too much. My mama like the company, whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool, bet. But then he started not coming around. Like, I couldn't find him. And I'm like, okay. Then I did end up meeting his best friend's daughter. Right. You see where this is going? So then his birthday comes. I cook for him because he asked me to, so I cook for him. He came, he got his food, stayed for a little bit. We did what grown folks do, and he left. Cool. I was a little upset because I was like, well, why you can't just spend the night? Like, what do you have to do that you can't spend the night? I don't understand. But whatever. Then my birthday comes. I went out with, let's see. I know it was me and him. And then my friend Keisha and her boyfriend. And then I want to say it was my friend Mercedes and her boyfriend. And I think her boyfriend's best friend. We all went bowling. I paid for me and him to go bowling for my birthday. Yes, I did. But that's neither here nor there. So that was fun. Time goes by and I called him one day. And a female answers the phone. Now, naturally, I'm like, oh, it's the best friend, So I'm like, yeah, it's Cat around. And she was like, oh, he's sleeping, or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, oh, okay, we'll just tell him that, Clarissa called. She's like, okay, cool, whatever. He calls back, we talking. I'm like, oh, is that your best friend? He was like, yeah, that's her. I was like, oh, okay, when am I going to meet her? And he was like, I don't know about that, whatever. I'm like, so what you hiding? Like, what are you hiding? So then I get a random phone call from his phone. Hadn't talked to him all day. It's probably like 2 weeks had gone by. I hadn't heard from him that much. I get a random phone call, and it's the girl. And she's like, hey, this is best friend. I just want to know what you and Kat relationship is. And I'm like, I'm his girlfriend. She was like, oh, that's funny because we've been, sleeping with each other. Oh, you have? And she was like, he told me you was just a friend. And, I've been to your apartment, but he would never let me come up. And I just found that kind of strange. I said, yeah, because every time he came to my apartment, we was having grown folk fun. And she was like, oh, well, I don't mind y'all being friends. And I was like, baby girl, let me tell you something. If I stay friends with him, I'm going to sleep with him every chance I get. And she was like, what? If I stay friends with him, I'm going to sleep with him every chance I get. Did you catch it that time? She was like, oh, well, can you help me, like, kind of corner him? When he get back in the car, I'm going to call you from my phone and we can, I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. So she calls me, and when I tell you they were going at it, it was like I won't even phone because he knew better than to run up on me the way he was running up on her. You hear me? Like, he was telling her to shut the F up. You shouldn't be going through my ish, da 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 da. And I'm sitting on the phone like, why am I on this call? Why am I on this call? But he knew better than to come at me like that because, baby, I don't play them games. I don't care nothing about what you got going on, what you don't got going on. Shawty, you got the right one if you come at me crazy. Period. So, time goes by. I don't talk to him because I basically was like, you know what? Freak you. Like, I don't want to be bothered with you. And then I think it was like 4th of July weekend. I spent 4th of July weekend with my best friend Keisha. And she was like, have you heard from Kat? And I was like, no. She was like, maybe you should reach out to him. And I was like, no. She was like, no, go ahead. So I was like, all right, cool. So I reached out to him. And I was like, oh, he wants to come over and talk. Mind you, I was at her house. And she was like, all right, well, come on, let's go. I'll take you back home and I'll wait until, I feel like everything's good. And her boyfriend was like, no, that ain't our place. We shouldn't be a part of that. And she like, if he act crazy, I need to be there just in case he pop off so I can pop back. He like, no, I wouldn't do that. Like, I don't think we should really be there. And I'm like, I mean, y'all don't have to stay. And he was like, see, she don't want, he was like, no. She was like, no, that's my best friend. Like, if something happened, I need to be there. So, we end up getting there. He comes and talks. And I'm like, all right, Keisha, I think I'm good now. She's like, all right, cool. Call me later, whatever. So, after they left, we end up doing the grown folk stuff again. I don't know what's wrong with me, y'all. I don't know. Shoot me. But it ended up happening. She found out. What was she going to do about it? Not a nothing. But she was pregnant by then. She was pregnant with their first child together. I'm like, so you are with this man as your baby daddy as he continues to screw me. You is stupid. But me and her actually became cool for just a little bit, because I kind of felt sorry for her because she truly and honestly did love him. He was just a dog. Like, he was a dog. Like, when I say a dog, I mean like a dog. Because while he was dealing with me, because we just became like, I was calling him my best friend, but we were screwing. But he also had her, and he also had another girl he was dealing with. And I'm the only one, like, so his baby mama knew about the other girl, but she didn't know about all the other girls. And the other girl didn't know. She knew about me as being his best friend. She didn't know we were screwing. But she didn't know that he was still dealing with his baby mama either. Like, I don't think he was really sleeping with her, like, talking about. I was just having fun because I was a single one in the whole mix. Because he was technically dating the other girl, which I don't know if he's still dating that girl or not. I know he had another baby with his baby mama. Um, but I knew all of this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I knew everything. Then I got in a relationship. Yeah, got in a relationship. Didn't really go nowhere really. But yeah, I got in a relationship. It didn't go nowhere. Um, a telemarketer's calling me. Okay. I'm sorry about that brief moment. Well, it was a brief moment for me. For y'all, it was like a half a second, literally. But so I knew all of this or whatever the case may be. I get in a relationship, so I mean, of course, that's still my best friend. We just wasn't sleeping together because I'm faithful when I'm in a relationship. Okay, when I'm in a relationship, I'm faithful. When I'm single, it's a whole nother story. Okay. Um. So then after I break up with dude and threatened to set his clothes on fire, that's another story time that's coming up momentarily. It'll be the next story that pops up on my to-do list because he's after this one. Um, I sleep with him again, and then by that time I end up moving with my best friend Danielle, and we have a falling out. I don't even remember what we fell out about, but it was falling out. And I end up moving with this girl I call my little sister. I won't say her name because I'm no longer cool with her, so I don't know how cool she would be with me mentioning her name on camera. But I'm just gonna call her little sister. She knows who she is. Um, and I'm not sleeping with Kat no more. But now he is after my little sister. Mind you, like I said, actually she's my big sister because she was older than me. Mind you, I call this girl my sister. That means that we're like this, right? So he is pursuing her heavy. I end up moving with her and her two kids. Um, and he ends up coming with us because his mom has basically put him out that house because they are moving. And she's like, he can't go with her, and his dad had too many people living in the house already, so I told him he could come and live with us. Shouldn't have done that, right? Um, so he's pursuing her as I want to be with you type. And she's like, at first she's like, no, and then she's like, well, if Clarissa's okay with it, which I was like, at that point in time, I had moved on. I was dating my last ex. I was about to start dating him or whatever. And I was like, it's not that I have an issue with it. I just don't want to hear it type shit. It's type stuff. Um, God, this eye, y'all. So I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to hear it. And so one day I did actually hear them, and I was very disgusted. Oh, and before I even got with my last ex, there was another dude that I had been dealing with that had moved back in. That's another story time. Like I'm telling you, all these stories connect in some form. All my exes intertwine with each other in some form because I was serial dating. I was unhappy by myself, so I always had to be in a relationship. Thank God for growth. Like over this boyfriend thread time, that's all you can keep hearing is thank God for growth. Thank God for growth. Thank God for growth. Okay? Um, so I give him my most recent ex because I've been single up until I'm dealing with who I'm dealing with now. I was single for almost 3 plus 4 years. I was dealing with people. I just was never in a committed relationship. I got so many stories that I could tell y'all. Like y'all just don't understand. This story time is going to be a series, and I'm going to make a playlist for it because y'all are going to want to hear these stories, baby. Um. So I hear them. Yeah, that was a whole nother story. Then we move out of that house because our kitchen floor caved in and we moved to another place. And he went with us under the pretenses of, oh, you know, I can help out, da 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 da. You can put the lights in my name or whatever, whatever, whatever. Yeah, that didn't really. I mean, we were able to put the lights in his name, but I did put the lights in his name, whether he wanted me to or not. I did it. Give me your social security number, thank you. Um, my sister ended up losing her job. She was working at UPS with me at that time. I was still working at UPS. She ended up losing her job because one day she didn't call out, so she was a no call, no show. They fired her. My boyfriend at the time got locked the fuck up. Excuse my French. My boyfriend at the time got locked up. Um, and Kat wasn't working either. So guess who had to pay the bills? Hey. So then he started working, and we had made this agreement that, you know, come like the first in December, I would pay my half. He would cover him and my sister's half since he was sleeping with her. Then he comes to me like 2 weeks after and was like, oh yeah, I know we made an agreement, but I can't do that. I'll have to give it to you after that. And I'm like, what? And so, what happened? I got fed up. By this time, my sister's baby daddy was living with us. It was a lot of people in this house, okay, at more than one time. That will probably be next month's story. But so she's no longer dealing with him because her baby daddy's here. She wants to try to make things work with her baby daddy. So then when it came time to give me my money, he didn't have my money. And I don't play by my money. One thing I won't do is play by my money. So I put him out. I told him he had until such and such to give me my money. All of his clothes were going to be sent by the trash can for Tuesday pickup. And I'm not giving them to you. You better not cross into my house until I get my money. Period. So he ended up coming and bringing the money, but he only brought me half of it. So I gave him half of his stuff. Somehow he got the rest of his stuff. I didn't give it to him. Somehow he got the rest of it. I want to say my sister did, but I did not give it to him. I did end up getting my money. What happened? End up turning the lights off in his name because the bill went sky high because I stopped paying it and putting it in. I put it into my current boyfriend's name, which I paid his bill off. I don't do people dirty that don't do me dirty. I need to go add something back to my last story time. So I get a text message from his baby mama, and she's like, "We need to do something about this light bill, $700 some odd dollars." Da da da. I'm like, I ain't doing nothing about that light bill. She was like, well, all of y'all. I said, all of nothing, because I was paying all the bills in that house by myself. I'm not doing nothing about that light bill, period. If he got a problem, he could take it up with me. He could say what he want to say, but I'm not doing nothing about that light bill, period. She was like, oh, well, this and this and this, and all that money he was giving. I said, what money was he giving me? And the whole time that we were there at the other house in here, he gave me $50 for cable there. And he gave me the I think it was like $280 or $290 or whatever it was for, I think it was like $4 something for rent. So what money did he give? She was like, oh, well, he was borrowing money from me because he said he was giving you. Well, he lied to you, baby, because he didn't give me nothing, okay? We moved into that apartment over there. That was September. Then we moved to the other house in November, which he didn't get my boyfriend locked up. My boyfriend got himself locked up, but because he was doing stupid stuff in the roads and driving and stuff, he was driving my boyfriend to work, the police pulled him over. And he didn't care that my boyfriend got locked up. He didn't care nothing about that. So no, I don't care about his light bill at all. Not one bit. I didn't. I don't know if it ever got paid. Don't care. And I have not talked to him since. I've gotten into it with his baby mama because she got pregnant again. And it was on Snapchat and I screenshotted it. And I sent it to my best friend Danielle to tell her that she was pregnant again by this dummy. So I got into it with her, and like I told her, she wasn't pregnant, I beat her ass. But yeah, I haven't talked to him since. And I have, okay, I'm lying. I have talked to him since actually. Ooh, that stuff is strong. I saw him on POF, and he viewed my page, and I was like, "But can I help you? Is that something that you need?" And he was like, "Oh no, I just saw your profile, and I just, whatever, whatever." And I was like, "Oh, you must miss me." He was like, "No, you must miss me." Boy, you looked at me. I didn't look at you. Other than that, I ain't heard from him. Don't have no intentions of talking to him. It is what it is. So, that is my story time. I think I am done recording for the day. One, because my eye keep watering. I need to take some pictures. And I need to edit these videos so I can get them out for you. At least get one out tonight. And then 2 out tomorrow. Yeah. No, 2 out Saturday. Yeah. I think. What's the day? Thursday? Yeah. So I'm going to try to upload Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Or no, maybe I'll do Thursdays, Saturdays, and Mondays. So Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So yeah. That sounds like a plan to me. But story times will normally follow either Thursday or Saturday, depending on the mood I'm in. But anyway, if you like this makeup look, go watch my natural, quick and easy. Well, it wasn't quick or easy for me because I had a lot of interruptions. But go watch that video. And all my social media is linked down below. All of my, I just said that. Go like, comment, and subscribe. And while you're here, you might as well go ahead and watch another video. Why not? Why not? But until next time. Period.